Hello and welcome to 3 Cups Tarot. On this channel, I do readings intended to uplift and guide the collective towards their highest path. And I have been feeling called lately to do a reading for spiritual warriors, which I also consider myself. So this is for us spiritual warriors fighting the good fight out there, wherever you are. I'm feeling called to get us a message. I don't know what it's in regards to, if it's around a certain occurrence in the works or something we're collectively going through right now. But we'll just see how the reading unfolds. This bottom card is sticking out, so I'm going to keep it. I'm also going to cut and take cards from here. Judgment in reverse. I feel there's a change in plans collectively. 9 of Cups in reverse and the Chariot reverse. There's a change in plans collectively. Your directions are going to shift, and you'll know this because your desires will shift. And all you really need to do is follow your desires, things that look like that you feel will lead to your path towards happiness. I'm being drawn to these flowers here, so look out for purple flowers and orchids as signs for you along the way. And if those are already signs for you, then this is a confirmation for this message. So if you feel like a sudden shift in where you want to take your life, or suddenly you feel like something else is going to make you happy, it's not anything internal to do with you necessarily, and you don't have to be critical of yourself or question yourself about it. It is a collective shift, a change in plans, and so all you really need to do is follow your instinct, follow your intuition toward where it's leading. So I feel like this could be drastic enough of a change that you're wanting to make that maybe the people in your life are questioning your decisions. You could be leaving a relationship, a marriage. You could be changing careers. You could be going back to school. It just feels right to you. It could be something where you shift in how you spend your time. So you might be spending more time on a creative project on your own and maybe clocking out, a little bit earlier from work. And say if you have like a job where you're paid hourly, people might question, like, why would you give up that extra income, the extra hour of work? For you, suddenly it seems necessary to sacrifice that extra hour of work so that you can do this other project, this creative project, or maybe like a health or fitness activity. It just suddenly makes sense, and it suddenly feels right, and you might not be able to explain it, but just go with it. You don't have to explain it to anyone. You don't even have to explain it to yourself. And this is just a reassurance that it's all in the best service towards your collective mission. I've been drawn to this bird here in the Chariot. I'm going to flip these over for a minute so they're easier to see. And they look like the birds here in the Judgment card. I can't really tell if they're supposed to be a certain kind of bird. Oh, this actually looks like crows. So look out for crows too as signs of these shifts, these winds of change, as your guidance, as positive signs. I know that crows can be taken as like signs of doom. It's not doom in this case. It is a big change, a big shift, but for the better. So let's get some oracle cards to help us with our guidance. Okay, 2 came out. Jingle Dress Miracles number 16. Amazing. And 22, Strawberry Love. So, however things are shifting is going to be big enough that it feels like a miracle. Which is exciting. And it feels like a collective manifestation on the part of all of us spiritual warriors on our mission. We're on our individual missions, but collectively we're serving a unified mission as well. And somehow we've all manifested this shift. And when it comes to fruition, it's going to feel like a miracle. It's going to feel like against all odds, like the impossible becoming possible. Where our advice is just to continue nurturing this with love and care. This shift, this miracle, is just the first step, just the planting of seed. What it takes now for all us spiritual warriors is to keep nurturing it, to growing it into something more with love. So all you really have to do, again, when the shift comes, is follow your desires, follow your heart. And then once the shift happens and you recognize it, nurture it with love. Oh my gosh, there's that confirmation. This is a manifestation. And you might, if bees are meaningful to you, look out for more bees as meaning manifestation, collective manifestation. The thing about bees is they work very efficiently collectively, most efficiently collectively, right? They can't work alone. So we're also being reminded that this is a collective manifestation and that it works best with collective reciprocation or collective receiving, by receiving the miracle manifestation by nurturing it with our love and care. I also feel like passion, hope, and inspiration is part of the equation here with love. So say if you're a teacher like me and we meet this moment in our different ways, however our abilities lie. But for me, my abilities are in teaching, and so I show love to whatever change I want to make in the world by teaching well and doing that role my best service. So you can think of it that way too. It's not necessarily only like a certain manifestation of love or a certain expression of love, like romantic love, family love. Those are all part of it, but expand your definition of love to also how you work in the world. For example, if you're a farmer, tending to your crops in a very methodical way, very gently placing the nutrients and the water around them, being very mindful of how the sun hits them. That's all working, nurturing with love rather than just, spraying pesticides or dumping water on them. It's in the intention of how the work gets done. You can think of it that way. Love can be the intention of the spiritual warrior work that you're doing in the world. And deep in your heart what this work is. And you might just be attracted to the phrase spiritual warrior for no reason at all. It's because you resonate with it. And just follow that. Just trust it. There's nothing to earn there. You just are. You just need to be as you are. Okay. I'm going to see if there's any other one that wants to come out. That's our one. Oh, there's two. Don't fear change, embrace it, and grow. So you might meet this shift, this manifestation, with some trepidation, a little bit of fear, but you are being reassured that this is an opportunity for growth and to meet this change and embrace it with the expectation for growth. And then you're also getting, there is so much more to you than you think. So this is number 44. That might be meaningful to you. And this is number 34. And then we had 22 here, which is double of 44. So there's definitely a connection between love and there's so much more to you than you think. I feel like this is drawing us back to that collective connection here. And there's so much more to you as an individual because you are connected to this spiritual warrior collectivity and the work we're doing. There's also so much more to you in your abilities and what you're capable of contributing to this manifestation. There's so much more to you and what you're capable of meeting with this change and growing from it. And I'm really feeling like not only that you can meet the moment, but you become a leader and an inspiration for others in the moment. There's so much more to you than you realize that others see in you. And just hold space for that moment when you find that, you discover that for yourself, there's so much more to you than you think. I'm going to pull one more card. It's kind of stuck. Fall into my arms, surrender, holding the opposites, extremes of life. I think I want to read this description actually. But I do want to mention these look like collective souls and ancestors running through the situation happening here. It looks like someone is leaning into the support of another, but they're actually receiving support from all these collective souls and ancestors. And I feel like actually this is a message that all of us spiritual warriors on this mission are connected, and that when we fall into the arms of one of us, we are all there energetically supporting each other. But let me just read really quickly from the book. The Great Mother ushered you in when you took your first breath, and she'll be there when you draw your last. She knows how challenging life can be, that being human can be lonely and confusing. That's the polarity and separation. That the polarity and separation can be excruciating when your soul remembers the oneness of Source. But at the same time, it can be incredibly glorious and sweet. So often we see things as either good or bad. When things go well, we make them mean what we're being rewarded. We make it mean that we're being rewarded. And when things are bad, then perhaps we've done something wrong. However, we're all here to expand and grow, and it's through the extremes of life that we do exactly that. Interesting. So growth comes up here again, just like here. Don't fear change, embrace it, and grow. And so it looks like that's going to happen with some extremes in life. So as extreme as our life path, looking like it's going one direction, right? And then to maybe it looks like it's starting to go in a very different direction. Maybe you might even consider it the opposite direction, however you see it. But it's a drastically different change. But that's how our growth happens in this lifetime as spiritual warriors. You're being invited to welcome the highs and the lows of the human experience, to let them initiate you more fully into life. The agony and the ecstasy, the beauty and the bitterness. This life is but a single breath in the inextinguishable existence of your experience as a soul. The Great Mother wants you to hand over your loneliness, worries, hurt, sorrow, fears, burdens, and doubts, to lay them on her altar, to fall fully into her arms, to remember that while these extremes are difficult, they can also be magnificent. The more wildly the pendulum of your life swings, the more truthfully you can say, I've truly lived life. And the Starseed activation says, place the card on the portal of your heart and whisper the following. I'm ready to embrace the extremes of my life. I lay all that I'm carrying onto the Great Mother's altar and fall completely into her arms. So we're definitely being called to trust what's happening and to trust in each other in these moments where that feel extreme or that feel difficult, challenging. Those are the times to look around you and fall into the arms of the people you trust around you. And if you feel like you can't trust anyone, fall spiritually into the arms of us, the collective spiritual warriors in our shared mission. That includes me, so you can project to me too. And I'll catch you in and connect you with the other souls as well. So that's our reading, spiritual warriors. I'm wishing you the best with that. And thank you for any likes, shares, subscribes to the channel. And hope to see you in another reading soon.